I'm going to paint our summer first. Use my green paint. So I want to get my brush wet and add some water to that paint. Get it nice. You don't want it too wet, but you want the paint cake wet, but you don't want to get too much water so that your paper gets soaked. I forgot to say that another thing you're going to want to have is a paper towel. These come in handy. So what I'm going to do to start with, I'm just seeing how much excess water. So I've been kind of tapping it on there. And for this tree, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can start by tapping and just kind of filling it in that way. That allows you to have a little bit more of that see-through thing. If you have more than one green, you can add some lighter green. But again, I think your paint palette is pretty basic. So we'll just stick with the one green. And this is the way I'm going to do it. I'm gonna draw kind of a cloud shape with my paint to start with. And I'm gonna draw kind of in a big old round, kind of a circular motion. Okay, and I'm gonna fill that in. And again, you can see that I have my branches through there. Earlier when I did this, I kind of just left my branches at the bottom. So what I might end up doing later for this one is going through and adding some brown. The big thing though is that with this, when you're layering paint on top of paint, you really want it to dry, otherwise it's gonna bleed. So if I were to go in right now and add brown to that limb, then it's gonna bleed into my green paint. So for now, I'm just gonna focus on painting my tree. One thing I forgot to tell you that you can do if it's really wet is take your paper towel and wad it up and just kind of push down here. And it kind of picks up some of that excess water, but if you notice, it also kind of gives it a kind of a cool little effect in there. And I just thought that was fun to show you. So now we're going to move on to our spring tree, and we're going to use the same color, green. Excuse me. So we're going to start with getting your littler paintbrush for this. You can use the big one, but I recommend using a smaller one for the fine detail, because what we're doing now is adding these little green, oh, what are those called? They're blossoms. Blossoms are the flowers. It is escaping me. But when the tree buds, that's what it is. So you're gonna add the little green. So I'm just gonna go through and add some little green leaves. And I wanna kinda add it outside the brown. Well, it's not brown yet, but it will be brown. So there's two ways we can do this. I'm thinking that maybe we should have painted this portion of the trunk brown first, just because I'm worried it will bleed. But I think that if I go ahead and do it this way, these will be dried by the time I get back to this section with brown. So go ahead and do that. And again, you're just gonna kind of add some pretty little tiny buds. I would imagine that a lot of your trees in your neighborhoods are doing this right now. And you know, some trees have pretty pink or white flowers, blossoms. A lot of times those are fruit trees, and some they don't have that, but like maples, those tend to be really pretty in the fall. As you're doing this painting, one thing you should think about is, what is your favorite season and what do you like about it? I can tell you my favorite season is fall. I love it when the leaves change color. But my second favorite season is spring because I love all the new life that's coming back.